You're watching Taste of Victory.
Welcome back, everybody, and we got some gameplay for one of the most excited decks in the Booster Set 9 format, and that is Alphamon Oryukin versus Grandis Kuwagamon. So we will be having some in-person physical gameplay on the channel soon. We're just starting off with tabletop for this one because this is a deck that requires 3 secret rares, so I don't know, I can't guarantee if I can afford that right away, so just to make sure we get some footage for it on the channel. I am starting off by, unfortunately, a rocky opening hand, because this is not bad. We do see the full line in our opening hand, we just don't have a rookie to start climbing up in security. So let's go ahead and we played the Cool Boy to hopefully top deck a rookie off of that. We unfortunately did not. Our opponent does see their rookie, so they Digivolve in Raising, but they don't seem to have anything else, because they just played the Mimi, giving us 2 memory, which again isn't the worst. We're just going to have to hard slam a level 4 here so we can start climbing, which isn't terrible, but there's nothing in his sources, and there's no other X antibody on the field. So as we just saw on screen, he does not get his blocker effect if this guy wanted to swing and chip early. He Digivolves into Kuwagamon X, which has no immediate effect, but it does give him the inheritable of Piercing, so that's potentially nice if he could climb and keep this stack on board. He is moving out of Raising, telling me that he maybe needs to start cycling, or he's really confident to be able to go into an early Grand Kuwagamon, or Grandis Kuwagamon eventually. He Digivolves into Kuwamon, which just regular Kuwamon, which has no immediate effect, but it does give on my board a mini Ice Wall where I lose 1 memory if I swing if he Digivolves into an Insectoid. So right now it's not doing anything. We're gonna go ahead and Digivolve for free into Dexterugamon, and this is where the effects of the X antibodies in this deck and Cool Boy start to really pay off because of his when Digivolving effect, which is free over Dexterugamon, or rather regular Darugamon, and because of Cool Boy, we get to gain a memory off of both of them and draw 1, giving us a lot of cycling. However, we do finally see the a rookie there. We go into Doru Gray since we have the 3 memory to go into it, so now we have effect deletion and DP minusing protection, which isn't too important into this matchup, but I mean it gets another source underneath us. And then we go into Alphamon for 3, Digivolving him 1, setting him back and putting another 1 underneath us. Because Dorumon does, for whatever reason, the ruling is that it does see itself when you put it underneath, so we do gain that memory, but because he has the memory tamer out, it doesn't really matter. If he had not seen that Mimi, that would have been really awesome there to put him to 2 instead of a full 3, which lets him Digivolve into Grand Kuwagamon potentially without passing turn. He Digivolves for 3 into into Akuamon X antibody, the Akuamon X, because we did de-Digivolve him, so he doesn't get the free cycling. However, he does have the X antibody now, so he can Digivolve, swing and Digivolve. However, he just Digivolves for 2, reduced cost because of Akuamon X's effect, into Grand Kuwagamon. So he's setting up for a really good turn next turn. However, we do have the Alphamon in Alphamon Oryukin in our hand, so we could go into that and delete his entire stack that he's invested into, putting us nicely ahead. However, we do have kind of a small stack here because we weren't able to get a rookie in that stack. So considering that this would be a 7 to pass turn, if we have to send the entire stack to the bottom of our deck to not pass turn, and at that point Oryukin is just a vanilla, so it's not really worth it. So instead what I'm going to do is just trash 2 to the bottom of my deck of our sources to give him the 3 memory he would have gotten anyways off of Mimi, so he doesn't get a crazy explosive play or anything like that. He Digivolves all the way back up to a Lakoamon back in the Raising area. So we go back to our turn, add 2 memory. After that we reveal our egg. Again, no rookie unfortunately, we already moved out from the previous turn. So we have ability to gain and draw 1 off of the inheritables if we put something underneath, but there's no real way to put something underneath here. We do have security attack +1, and seeing as he has an Akuamon in the back, it's very real that he could potentially go into Grandis and start just beating us up if he has another X antibody option. So that thing suspends on attack, I believe, or when Digivolving anyways, so like might as well get value out of this Oryukin now. After that we Digivolve into the Dorumon in the back to get a blocker on field. But unfortunately, at the time of this game, I totally forgot to, he unsuspends himself at the end of attack Grandis Kuwagamon and then can just swing for something else again. So that having that blocker out doesn't really do anything to actually protect our Alphamon or Ryukin, so it's kind of pointless. Instead, what we should have done was probably just play out the Yuji from the 2 memory to give him his 3 memory and not 1 more, because with that extra 1 memory, he will be able to go into Grandis Kuwagamon without passing turn. So that is honestly a fumble on my end, and we should have just played something else out instead of going into the blocker that is going to do absolutely nothing on this turn. He moves out of Racing area and then spends his 1 Digiburst to get security attack +1, giving him 2 swings right now. He has 1 memory, so he will be able to go into Grandis for only 1 because of its reduced Digivolution cost without passing turn. Taps the Mimi to hatch another egg. so that way he's able to cycle again early on if he's still missing anything. He's going to swing into our Alphamon Oryukin stack. Again, there's no point in blocking here since it's just going to unsuspend and then suspend our blocker again, so like either way the entire board is going to be cleared. We hit the Cool Boy, which is really nice. I clicked the wrong button there, but we do get to reveal the top 3 and grab an X Antibody option and something with X Antibody in its traits. I grabbed the Dex Duromon here. I probably should have grabbed the rookie there so we can start building in Raising, but the thing is I was hoping, again at the time, like I forgot that this thing could just end of attack, unsuspend, and suspend one of my guys, so it wasn't going to live in the field, but I was hoping to get some value off of the Dex Duromon evolving over our guys. And then we see 2 more Tamers hit out of security, so that is really awesome value, but unfortunately, like, it doesn't even matter because, like, we are at 1 security right now. I think by the end of this turn, we're going to be at 0, so we don't really get any value off of those because, like, we're only going to have 3 guaranteed memory at the start of our turn. Again, I grabbed the Alphamon, or rather, I grabbed the Oryumon. He digivolves in Raising. It looks like we do at the very least have 1 memory on this turn, but he has, his Grandness is still going to be on the field. He has a rookie in the back. I have no rookie to Heart Slam off of our guaranteed 3 memory, because at least if we had a rookie we could Heart Slam, maybe we could start doing some stuff with Dex Durugumon, but no. We have nothing in his hand to be able to possibly climb, so I'm just going to go ahead and scoop to save us both some time and go to game 2. Game 2 is looking a lot better with this opening hand because we see the main rookie that you absolutely want to open, and that is the old BT7 Dorumon. We also see the new one, so we're going to go ahead and play it so we can start cycling into the other cards we want to see. Unfortunately, we just see another Ryudomon, and Dorumon. Dorumon isn't the worst, but they're not incredibly spicy draws. This was a misplay on my end because the new Alphamon is really easy to forget because it's not really much of a black trait, it's more of a purple trait, but the new Alphamon puts cards from trash underneath it when digivolving. So what I should have trashed instead of Ryudomon there was probably the Oryumon to be able to have it set up and ready and trash for that Alphamon play eventually. So that is something that will come up later in this duel, just pointing it out now. Our opponent digivolves all the way in Raising. Because we gave him that 2 memory, he was able to play a Cool Boy and start searching up, and then digivolves all the way into a Kuwagamon X. We have the Dorugumon, so we digivolve in the back, going to 0. I'm just going to go ahead and swing with the Dorumon to get some chip, because sometimes that 1 chip is all you need to now have lethal set up with your Alphamon Oryukin. So we digivolve into Dorogray in the back, which I think is perfectly fine sometimes, because this isn't a matchup where it's when digivolving effects will matter, the protection, you know, because there's no DP minusing, there's very little destruction-based effects options in green. So just digivolve it into the back to be ready next turn to be able to start climbing again. He goes ahead and plays Mimi, which is a lot of memory for us to work with. That is a great long-term value investment for this deck for sure, but like 4 is a lot to play with here. I'm debating here if we want to move out because we do have some good inheritables, but like right now that guy is going to cost 1 to digivolve into, putting us to 3, and then after that we don't want to go into Oryu ever in this deck raw. Like, you don't want to digivolve into Oryu, you always want to add it to stack through Alphamon's effects. So I'm just going to stay in the Raising for now instead of doing any 1 digivolving effects and go down to 3 memory. And here we're at 3. I think here would have been a good opportunity to just play another Rookie Searcher. So we do that, we play it, hopefully to hit a Yuji, because Yuji would have been really nice. Unfortunately, we see the other Tamer, which is not the one this one grabs. We can at the very least grab that Ryudomon, so we have another Cycler there if we need it. Yuji would have been really nice, because then we could have just hard slammed that down, come out next turn and get an extra memory and draw, because as you do see, we are still missing that Alphamon, so every draw there would have mattered. But instead, I'm just going to digivolve, get a blocker, so we can't do any chips early on, because we do have a guy in Source that is X Antibody. He reveals the 3 off of Kukuamon X and grabs Grandest Kuwagamon, so it looks like he may have been missing that since he didn't go into anything in Racing, so now he has that set up, ready to come out. We digivolves into Kuwagamon X again, which doesn't do anything on its own, but does grant Piercing Heritable. So with that 2 memory, I'm going to play the Cool Boy to search for our X Antibody Digimon. And there we do see we hit that Alphamon that we needed to get the perfect stat going, and that's fantastic. However, I committed to the Raising area. I'm still in there this turn, so I can't do anything this turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up for next turn. So if he tries to choke us in any way, I can just delay the memory boost next turn and go into Alphamon no matter what. I'm going to grab the Dorumon there instead of a Rookie, since at this point we're probably not going to need it, because with the stack that we have in our hand, we're probably going to be able to close it out next turn or put him so far behind that he can't come back. So I feel comfortable just grabbing the Dorumon there for whatever reason. And then we go into he goes into Kuwagamon X. A lot of these names in green get really similar, so it's kind of hard to keep track of. You have Kokuamon, Kuwagamon, Okuamon. Like, it's really hard to keep track of some of these guys. When he plays another Cool Boy, he's going to grab that card off of the top of it, bottom decking the rest. That gives us 2 memory, which is a lot to work with when you consider the Cool Boy and the memory boost, getting all that memory. So we get to Digivolve into Dex Dorugamon for free, tapping Cool Boy to get a memory and draw, and then we get to play its effect. And here, this is a misplay. Again, I should have put, instead of Dorugray is fine because you do get security attack +1, but what it should have been is Oriumon, because I don't have one in trash to do off its one Digivolving effect, which we realize right now. So I'm like, wait, hold up. Let me put let me fix this. Let me put this instead of Dorugraymon in trash, and I will put Oriumon underneath it instead, because then we get the unsuspending ability, which is the main contributor to the OTK strategy of Black X antibody decks. So then we're going to Digivolve, because note that Alphamon Ryukin does have a special Digivolution condition on it. Because we have an Alphamon with an Oriumon in its stack, we can Digivolve for only 3, meaning we really only need to put 2 cards from the bottom of this Digimon Digivolution source to go back to 0 and not pass turn. However, keep in mind, X antibody in security is a mini, it's a mini ice wall. So I'm going to also get rid of an extra source to be able to guarantee that the X antibody option does not pass this turn. We're going to swing 2 and then unsuspend, swing another 2, and then we got Dex Dorugamon on the field that will swing for game. So that ends it right there for us, and that was a fantastic comeback from what game 2 was. So then our opponent, we're going to start game 3 with hatching and Digivolving to Kokuamon. That is the regular one that gives security attack +1 if you are a level 6 or higher. So that is a rookie that does cost 1 to evo, which is unfortunate, but at the very least it does put us to 1. We do see the good Dorumon in our opening hand, so we can Digivolve into that. Not much else there, so we're going to play the Cool Boy, hoping to get value by seeing a Dorugamon first, so that we can also get a Dex Dorugamon over it. Unfortunately, we get a hard choice here. We got the Dorugamon and the Oryukin. I have faith with all the cycling of these X antibodies to be able to just draw into another Dorumon, to draw into another Alphamon or Ryukin rather. So I'm going to go ahead and bottom deck that, since we don't have the Alphamon anyways, you know, to be able to go into it just yet. So we're going to bottom deck that and hope to draw into another one on our climb on the way up. He Digivolves into Kuwagamon for 2, putting us as 1 as well. So it's a lot of good back and forth choking going on here. I have the Dorugamon, so I just Digivolve into it in raising, put him back to his 1. After this, if I want, I can move out and start getting value off of Cool Boy and Dex Dorugamons when Digivolving for free, because he does give himself retaliation blocker when you Digivolve over the Dorugamon, so I'm not too worried about that coming out, like Okuamon coming out of raising and going into a Grandness and trying to attack my security, because he will also lose his stack as well with the retaliation blocker. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into it because I do feel confident and safe with that effect there. And then because of Cool Boy and because of Dex Dorugamon's one Digivolving effect, that is going to push us up to 4 memory if we activate both, so that's really great there. I'm not sure if I forgot to do it there. It looks... No, yeah, I go to 4. I'm just choosing what to discard there. We have 2 of the Dex Dorugray, so I'm just going to discard that since we don't have anything really else that's crazy to discard. We go into Dorugray for 3, putting us to 1 memory, which is really nice. Putting a Dorumon underneath it, and because of the ruling is Dorumon does see itself when you put it underneath it. I think that's a weird ruling, but it works, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And then we get to draw 1 as well off of Dorumon. I don't know if I remembered to do that. So then we have the other Dorumon that was originally in the stack. Looks like I totally forgot to do that one as well. And then there it is. There's the Dori draw. So we have Dex Dorugray, which is basically going to Digivolve for free when you use his when Digivolving effect to discard 1 card with Dex or the X antibody and its traits. So we're just going to discard the other Dex Dorugamon because we don't really need it right now. So that puts us to 2, and that puts Yuji Musha on the field, putting him at 1. So not only do we have some great stack right here that is retaliation blocker, so he can't even swing over it unless he wants to lose his entire stack. Then we also have a tamer that will benefit us in the late game. So he Digivolves all the way up to his Grandness Kuwagamon in the Raising area, which is really great there because he has the potential to come out and start swinging for huge damage. We hatch Digivolve into Ryudomon, which isn't the best rookie to see too early on, but I mean, it's nice for the cycle and to eventually get that extra draw and memory off of Yuji when you push out of Breeding Area. Then after that, we're going to Digivolve into Dorugamon, hoping to cycle into our Alphamon and eventually see it. We are just not seeing it, so since he has Grandness in the back anyways, he's going to come out and start doing some massive damage. Since we don't have the retaliation blocker anymore, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these guys underneath its stack to be able to, or rather I'm just going to swing because we have Dorugray underneath it anyways to be able to get some damage before it dies anyways. But here I realized that Yuji would actually trigger the Dorumon inheritables. Originally I was just going to put Dorugray underneath to get some extra chip before this thing dies, but because of that memory it gives me potential to cycle and off the Dorumon and the extra memory. So here I'm going to So I changed my mind and just put Doryumon to get the extra memory and see what could possibly get top decked. We see the Alphamon, and then I was originally going to pass turn with just the Dorugrei. However, I realized I had 2 memory and a Kongo in hand, so to play it efficiently, I was basically just immediately like, wait, hold up, let me play this first, then to go into Dorugrei and pass turn. So my opponent will Digivolve into Grandis. He taps the Mimi to open another egg to be able to cycle, maybe draw for some other pieces missing. Because of that Kongu, he will be able to not swing for lethal, because if he's able to clear security here, he would have been able to Digivolve into a hybrid, but because Kongu doesn't let level 7s or lower attack, it does stop lethal, so it's a good play to make there. He does his first check piercing our stack, so unfortunately we lose it, which is why we started building up in the back, because we knew it was kind of inevitable. But his 2 checks revealed 2 cool boys, so we were just having some absolutely insane luck with security in this matchup. My goodness, we reveal some pretty good targets here. Go ahead and grab the Dorugrei. For whatever reason, we need more checks to swing again, or if we have to build another stack. So he checks for the last 2. That is not as crazy as the previous ones. We just have a Dorumon and a Dexter-Rugamon. So that is him out of checks now. He was able to clear through our 5. So assuming he did have a hybrid in hand, he may have had lethal there if he hadn't played the Kongo, but who knows if he didn't anyways. Either way, he's going to play down the memory boost, putting us at 1 because it costs 3 from when he was at 2. He grabs the Kuwagamon. Looks like he debated there for a second, but he does grab the Kuwagamon, so he's going to be able to Digivolve that in the raising area if it comes to another turn. But here we're just going to push out. We have basically lethal guaranteed here, especially since he's only at 3 security. We are going to Digivolve into the Alphamon right now. Rather, we're going to Digivolve into the Dexter-Rugamon to get advantage of all those cool boys that are on the field. Because of its effect, it's technically Digivolving for free, even though it costs 1 over a Dorugrei. And then once tapping the 3 cool boys, we gain some more memory, which puts us to a total of 5 overall. I'm just going to go ahead and do the draws really quick, putting us at 4 overall. Then we're going to go ahead and Digivolve into the Alphamon, which lets us put something underneath. Okay, so we put Oriyumon underneath there correctly this time. That does Digivolve his stack. And then we go into Alphamon Oryukin. That is only 3 because Oriyumon is an Alphamon stack. So that puts us at 2. So we're going to go ahead and trash 3 sources. So we go back to 1. You want to be at 1 instead of 0 to make sure you don't lose to a possible X antibody option in security, since it's basically a mini Hammer Spark in security. And at this point, once you have Oryukin underneath Alphamon, the Alphamon himself is basically a vanilla, so you might as well just discard it too and get the extra memory, because then maybe you could even go into a hybrid for game if you need that. In this case, we don't, because we unsuspend with Oriyumon doing 2 checks. He hits the cool boy, but he's not going to get another turn, so it doesn't really matter too much. I think he doesn't even do the search because he knows he's done here. So after we have unsuspended, we swing again and then tap Yuji to put another one underneath to unsuspend again, and then swing for game, and that is how we will win with Alphamon Oryukin. So this was a really fun game. Alphamon, it takes some getting used to pilots efficiently, but it's really fun and explosive on the turn it comes out once you get used to it. Let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.